It's tea time, ladies and gentlemen.
It's tea time.
It's tea time, boys and girls.
Let out the tea signal. Yeah, it's true.
I'm actually really impressed that April Fool's worked so well because we had nothing extra to edit into that.
Yeah, we knew what we wanted. We had a tight storyboard.
Execution was perfect.
It was like a Hitchcock film. We had that shit storyboarded down.
That movie was the footage.
Yeah,
it was like very little edit.
We didn't get much covered. Also, we had forgot that April 1st is coming up.
Yes,
it's weird because it's the same time every year, you know. But
some stuff going on. What are we drinking?
We are drinking some TeaHome High Mountain Dayuling.
Fantastic.
So when I put on my recent order to them, I ordered I ordered a small packet of this. One of the more expensive teas, but their teas are all super affordable. So I've been wanting to try some High Mountain tea. Get our little fix in.
Perfumey and floral. So if you're gonna, I'm this far away from it, just it's so green too.
Yeah.
Look at how verdant that is. Oh, perfect day for it too.
Yeah, a nice spring day.
Yeah, yum.
We'd anticipate these leaves to be quite big,
Mm-hmm.
just because this is one of the highest mountains.
Yep. And what's the reasoning behind that? The leaves are gonna grow more slowly?
Yeah, they grow more slowly, and they pick them a little later too. If it's spring, if it's winter, I think they pick them the opposite.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, we let these hang out. We don't give it quite the flash tea, just because it is rolled. So I want to let those unfurl a little bit.
Totally.
So usually start the steep time 15-20 seconds, reduce it, then bring it back up.
Yeah. Or potentially too, if you have your first steeping, wait a while, the leaves will naturally, with the moisture in the cup and the heat, unfurl a bit more too in there. So you might go back to fast. Wow. So good. I've been listening to this one musician guy, James Collier. Cheers.
Check it out.
Cheerio. I listened to one of those like Wired things where it's like 5 levels and they explain music. So this guy explains music in 5 different levels and he goes up to Herbie Hancock where they're just like jamming. And I'm listening to it and I'm like, man, this doesn't really sound good to me. But I know that this is like super high level. It made me realize an analogy with tea, which is that when you get so into something at a certain point, you kind of listened to or tasted all of the notes or the flavors of something. And then you're almost like chasing novelty in some ways. Like for you and I drinking tea, there's almost this new, like the novelty of a new flavor in tea is itself interesting, even if it's not like good necessarily. And I just found
it might not be appreciated by others.
Yeah. Whereas like something like this in the sort of music analogy, this would just be like a normal jam, like something really delicious. Yeah.
This is Kenny
Familiar.
G.
Totally.
Kenny G. High Mountain Oolong.
Local.
Didn't think you were going to get that? Yeah, he went to high school with my mom.
Really? Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah, same.
Did he have the curly hair then?
Yeah, he did. I think he was like a little bit of a nerd, if I remember.
Sure.
Right. Yeah.
Sure. Oh, this is so good. It's buttery, actually. Anyway, I just thought the analogy was appropriate. And I think it kind of like applies to probably a lot of different things that you're up to at a certain point.
Yeah.
You know, you've done all of the
certainly
the basics.
Art too. Yeah.
Yeah. Or even like, I don't know, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu probably, you know. Anyway, it's just kind of, it's cool. There's like this infinite landscape of tea, even if things are familiar.
Yeah. Well, back to Kenny GT here with this High Mountain Oolong.
Kenny G.
You're on smooth jazz.
Yeah. Oof. This is a smooth jazz cup of tea. That's for sure. These are so good. Cheers.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with something like this, which is very, very classical. Something that we kind of explored a lot early on in the show. And, we brought it back a couple times a year
so good,
since then.
Yeah. This is the kind of tea that is the perfect indoctrinate a new person into tea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So sweet. Like, mom test forever.
Ultralight?
Definitely.
Nice.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you could imagine getting... I would brew a little bit...
Stronger?
Well, maybe... I would probably use a little bit less hot water and then try to drink a bit more quickly as a result.
Be okay. Fine cold brewed too. I think
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tasty. So floral. Little butter.
Yeah. Good
Hints of
body.
grass.
Yeah. Nice lingering aftertaste.
Just solid.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who doesn't like a good High Mountain 20s oolong? Plenty of people.
Yeah.
You're
Terrible
all wrong.
people. Yeah.
I would recommend this. TeaHome is also just. Excuse me. Yeah, it's just good.
Yeah, you're just buying close to the source too, so less people it goes through. So the prices are just really good. Like
Totally.
you could probably get something of this quality from a Western vendor. I think you could, but you probably pay a lot more. Like I forget exactly what I paid for this, but I think it was under 20 cents a gram. So I mean, like for something like a 5 gram session here, it's like talking about under $1. Yeah. So for you in the what's that form called? That's true.
Yeah, anyway, no, it's really tasty. This is absolutely the kind of tea that I would recommend to someone just getting into tea, especially if they haven't had something that looks like a green oolong before. Plenty of people have had kind of like a round, boring, but just fine oolong at dim sum or maybe like a red tour or something like that there. But really getting into a splash of just aliveness in this cup. Really wonderful.
And I do really think a tea like this is probably, speaking of just restaurant tea, because you reminded me of it, I think this is probably not a good restaurant tea. The flavors are just a little too light. Yeah. So I think this is definitely not a tea to be paired with food.
Yeah,
something that you have post-meal or, just not kind of on its own.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. For this next one, gonna push it a little bit, just see how it does. Cherry out.
Pip pip.
Yeah. We came full circle. We got a comment the other day of someone that was British that said, "You guys have ruined me. I've started to say Cheerio with those exaggerated British accent." So,
we incepted you, bro.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm forgetting the name, but here's to you, sir.
Yeah, it's so good. Such easy drinking. Like, just so delicious. Not complex. Doesn't have to be.
Yeah, a little lemony. Yeah, nice butter. It's just a crowd pleaser.
Really clean. Yeah.
So let this one hang out for just a second, and now let's see what we got here. Color looks similar. Usually good quality versions of this tea aren't going to get bitter very fast. It hasn't even been verging on bitter.
Right.
So yeah, it's probably possible to make it bitter if you just really, really push it. But yeah, you can look at these.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Not the highest quality Taiwanese oolong we've ever had, but it's a real damn solid one.
Yeah, and that's not the point of this tea. Yeah, nice. Looks good overall. Sometimes machine picked tea will be pretty beat up, so you can just look at the leaves and see specifically on the edges of the leaves if there's a bunch of cuts there. It's usually a good sign that they've been machine picked. Usually means that they're going to be looking for a bit more production and maybe better profits and maybe not necessarily as good of a tea, but it could be. So
sure.
Yeah. Who knows? Cheers.
Cheerio.
So yellow. I like that.
Yeah, it's good. It just brings out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Maybe even hinting on some minerals and things like that. But
like
very still much kind of in the same flavor realm.
Yeah. Great body. Excuse me. Great body. Really just velvety. Maybe not as rich and as a ripe syrupy as a ripe, but just really, really easy drinking.
Yep.
Cheers. Ooh, hot. So, TeaHome.com.
Just Google them. TeaHome. If there's a bunch of Chinese characters on it and some tea plants, you are on the right place. The ordering process is maybe a little more confusing than your average tea website, but absolutely possible to do. Just use Google Translate. They're trustworthy as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these, they're not scam artists whatsoever.
No,
They've been selling tea for a long time, so totally recommend
both order from them, and much easier than like tap out or something like that, too, for sure.
So, I mean, this is not even their specialty, but check out this tea and check out some more of their specialties.
Yeah.
They have some great dongjing and things like that, too.
Absolutely, yep. And subscribe if you want. Send this to your cat's great uncle.
Love it.
And do all the things with the bells and all that crap. And we'll see you guys next time.
Ding!
Ding!
Yeah.